We have three categories for adjustments layers. We have color or color correction adjustments layers, and we have tonal or lighting adjustments layers, and we have contrast layers. In this video, we're going to be talking about color or color adjustments layers in Adobe Photoshop. And before we start, guys, there is no right or wrong when it comes to color correction. It really depends on what you're going after, or your desired art direction, or maybe your taste and your eyes. So here, for example, in this image, we can be increasing vibrance. So let's select vibrance adjustment layer, and we can be cranking up vibrance a bit, or even all the way to 100%. And the main difference between vibrance and saturation is that vibrance will be working on muted colors within your image, maybe grays or pale colors, bringing or cranking that up. However, using saturation will be so aggressive with colors that it's gonna be intensing your colors so much. So you need to be careful while you're increasing your saturation, because vibrance will be probably preserving skin tones. However, saturation might be destroying skin tones and other color ranges in your image. So for instance, if we set that one back to 0 and we crank up our saturation again, you can see we have oversaturated image. That building is starting to look a bit orange, and also the grass looks so intense to me. So let's bring this one back to 0 and increasing our vibrance once again. However, we can be adding a little bit of saturation if we're going after strong colors within our image. So let's maybe add that one maybe up to 10 or 20, something like that. Maybe even 7 will be fine. However, for me, I feel it's even quite too strong using that saturation. Now let's even discover another adjustment layer. We're going to be moving to that image in here. Now let's start by selecting our image, and maybe we're going to be applying LUT to our image. And people who are using Adobe Premiere are so familiar with LUTs, as they have been there for quite a while. However, they are now also existing in Adobe Photoshop, which is really amazing. We can be adding that adjustment layer color lookup, and we can be loading LUTs from here. And by the way, LUT stands for lookup tables. So we're going to be selecting maybe first one to strip, and we can be trying other LUTs as well. Some of them are creative, as you can see, and others are trying to mimic cameras, specific cameras like Fuji. We have some Fuji LUTs in here, and also we have some Kodak as well in here. And we can be trying maybe moonlight. It's gonna be applying a night impression on our image, and also can be trying maybe that Fuji filter. It looks really amazing, this one. The image is really looking stunning using that LUT, as you can see. Of course, you can be bringing that down a bit if you'd like, or even you can be applying multiple LUTs on the same image. Now we are selecting from 3D LUT file. We can be selecting from abstract profile as well from here. So for instance, you can be going for blue tone, gray tone, lightness decrease or increase, sepia. I'm gonna be selecting maybe for instance blue tone, and it's gonna be looking like that. And you can be clicking that eye icon to see image without LUT, so you can be checking the difference between the original image and your LUT. And of course, you can be linking that one to your specific layer. If we have multiple layers in here, we can be linking that one to only that layer by clicking that button. Now we have that sign, or we can be unlinking them by clicking the same button in here or pressing command to unlink these two layers. Also, anytime you can be resetting your LUTs by clicking that one. Now we need to be selecting our filter once again. Now let's even go and apply another adjustment layer to the same image. So let's maybe add hue saturation. And let me disable our previous adjustment layer first, so we can see hue saturation in detail better. Of course, we talked about that one before. However, now we're going to be covering that one in detail. We have hue, which is our color. So you can think of hue as we are changing colors for our image. We can be sliding that slider all the way toward maybe magenta colors. Or we can be going all the way the other way to greens and yellows. Or we can be resetting that one back to 0. Then we have saturation, which is color's intensity, or how much saturated that color within your image, or all these colors. So if we bring that one up, we're gonna be having a very saturated or over saturated color. Of course, as we talked about that one, we need to be careful adding or increasing our saturation, or we can tone it down a bit, maybe like that, or bring it all the way to black and white. So let me set it back to 0. Then we have lightness slider to make it either bright like that. And also you need to be careful adding lightness within your image, because probably it will be destroying your image, as you can see. Or we can be bringing that one down a bit to make it a bit dim like that. However, also slight changes will be very wise when you're dealing with lightness, okay? And usually we use curves and levels for brightening or dimming our images instead of using lightness sliders, so you don't really need to use that slider a lot. However, you can be experimenting both of them and see yourself the difference between using curves, levels, or even using lightness slider. Anyway, let's put it back to 0. And also we have another way to control certain colors within our image. We can be using, instead of master, you can be using reds, yellows, greens, and customizing any of them individually, or we can be using that amazing button here, which is allowing us to directly select our color. So for instance, let's say we need to turn these flowers into white flowers or gray flowers. We can be dragging our slider in here all the way to left, and we have our saturation 0 for yellows. And the same as well for the skies, we can be bringing that one up a bit or reducing its saturation, or even we can be pressing command or control to edit hue for that color. So now we are changing our skies color, as you can see, all the way to here. Now we have a completely different effect even without selecting our flowers. We have isolated them and changed their colors, and also for the sky we changed its color to have a completely different result within our image. And also we can be selecting a colorize option from here to have a monochrome color within our image, and we can be changing hue for that color as well. Instead we can bring it all the way to here, maybe for instance, or we can be applying presets from custom presets in here. So we can be selecting old style, or even red boost, or sepia, which is giving us an old impression for our image. So let's reset that one, and now let's even add another adjustment layer to our image, turning this one into a black and white image. So I'm gonna be collapsing this one. I'm gonna be selecting black and white adjustment layer in here, and let's disable our layers. Now this one is even giving us a more control over our black and white image. So for instance, we can be reducing reds within our image, resulting into more black areas within our black and white image, and even more contrast of our image. And same as well for yellows, it's gonna be destroying our image this way. We can be increasing our yellow as well a little bit, or we can be using the same button in here to edit colors within our image, which is more convenient that way. We can be dragging right or left for a completely different result. And as you can see, it's now affecting our blues as it's the sky. So now it's increasing blues a bit, or we can be reducing that one. And same as well for flowers, we can be controlling them from here. So as you can see, even in black and white images, you can get completely different results. Or you can be applying tint to have a color tint on top of your black and white image, and you can be customizing that color anytime as well. You can be selecting any color from here, so maybe this one, and so on. You can be dragging that slider for other hues, so maybe light blue like this one or this one. Or you can be disabling tint and selecting from any of these presets as well. So you have maybe maximum black, white, lighter, infrared, maybe something like that, or maybe maximum black. And also you can be editing these presets anytime, so you can have a brighter areas of your maximum black, and so on. So now let's even add another adjustment layer on our image. I'm gonna be disabling our black and white, applying a gradient map on our image. Now we can be selecting from our gradients. We have these gradients by default. So let's maybe select that one. And it's going to be applying the gradient colors in a smart way on shadows and highlights, as you can see. And also you can be customizing them even further. So let's click here, you have your gradient color. You can be reversing that one, or you can be editing your gradient by double clicking that color, maybe reselecting our gradient again. And let's say you don't like any of these gradients, or you don't like any of these colors, of course you can be customizing your own gradient, as I don't really like these gradients as well. So let's maybe say we don't like that yellow, we can be customizing that in here. Or let's maybe say we have that orange color, we can be editing that color and choosing a completely different color. So I'm going to be double clicking that color. Now we have our color picker in here. We can be moving our slider once again, and this color looks really amazing with orange, so I'm going to be applying that. Of course we can keep adding other colors to our gradient, so maybe you can be clicking in here if you would like to add even more. And you already have another color, you can be double clicking that one as well, and you can be sliding your slider or selecting any of these colors. So I'm going to be pressing OK. Of course if you don't like any color as well, you can be removing that color by clicking the delete button, so it's deleting that color. Stop. And as well, let's maybe remove that one. We can be replacing that one instead with foreground, background, and user color. You can be customizing your location with percentages as well. And you have your gradient type as well in here. You can be setting that one to noise, which is completely random to me, so let's get it back to solid. And we have smoothness of our transition between colors. And also you can be customizing these sliders for better control over your gradients. So you can be dragging that yellow all the way to here to have a completely different result, as you can see. However, if you'd like to save that gradient to maybe reuse it later, you can be clicking new instead of save, because save will be affecting the original gradient, which maybe you don't like as me. However, I'm gonna keep it anyway, and let's save that as a new one. Now we have that color gradient added in here. However, we can be also selecting from that gear icon other gradients if you would like to select maybe color harmonies, metals, or even maybe photographic toning. So you can be selecting maybe that one and then apply it on your images. Now it's gonna be replacing your gradients with photographic toning, so you can be selecting them. So let's click OK. Now we have these gradients in here. We can be selecting maybe that one instead, or maybe that one, and so on. So let's maybe apply that one to our image. Now we can be reducing that one's opacity a bit, all the way maybe to here. So we have a completely different result using that gradient map. However, now we can be mixing between our adjustment layers. So let's maybe apply that one again. And even rearranging these layers can be affecting your results. So let's maybe drag that one all the way to here. So you might need to be experimenting while you're stacking your adjustments layers. Moving to another color correction adjustment layer, which is curves. And as you can see guys, in this image everything looks quite yellowish, or you feel that there is too much yellow in that image, and that's probably due to lighting and maybe also the environment of that image. So let's select our image. We're gonna be applying curves. Now we have 3 reference points for our adjustment layer. We have black reference point and grays, and also we have white. So for instance, if we have white within our image and it's 100% white, every other color will be corrected within your image. And same as well for black. However, sometimes using grays could be nice for having a different result. You can be trying, for instance, gray this time, maybe going for anything that's neutral color or gray color within your image. So here, for instance, we have gray tones within our gloves, and every gray tone in here will be giving us a completely different result. So for instance, I'm going to be trying that gray. However, if I undo that one and maybe selecting that gray, in here it's destroying our image. So this one is not completely gray. Maybe you can be trying that one with white. However, it's not 100% white as well, it's yellowish white. So let's select white and going for the same one. See, it's not making any difference within our image, few changes. So let's undo that. I'm gonna be selecting the gray as well and going maybe for that gray color. So selecting that point in particular giving us excellent results. And we can see what happened within our adjustment layer. We have our blue color increased and we have our green and red reduced. Green was reduced a bit to remove that yellow color within our image. However, even we can be editing these curves to have better results for our image. So for instance, we can be controlling our red curve by going to red. Maybe we can be reducing that one a bit, maybe something like that. Or we can be editing all RGB colors by selecting RGB once again, red, green, blue. And we can be adjusting our white curve all the way maybe like that to customize our brightness, as you can see. Or we can be adding color balance for better controls over our colors as another adjustment layer. So maybe increasing reds a bit and maybe a little bit of yellow as well. So we can be closing properties and we can be disabling these layers to see the difference. And it looks much better this way. Moving to our last example in here, we have that image. If you remember that one, we customized that one with our smart filters using camera raw filter, and we're going to be applying curves as well to that image. So let's go ahead and select our image, adding curve. Then I'm going to be selecting our gray point, maybe selecting that color, and in this example I'm going to be editing our red curve. So I'm going to be going to red, reducing that one because we have too much red within our image. Now we have too much green as well, so maybe we need to be reducing our green as well. Maybe going back to red again, just to make sure it looks better. Maybe like that. And we can see before and after. Of course it looks full of life this way and much better. However, when I showed that one, it looked more like that in origin. However, you can be applying these filters to have a better feeling within your images or to give a specific impression to help within your design or your photographs. So I'm gonna be applying that one. I'm pretty much happy with that result. And hopefully by now you have a better understanding of using color adjustments layers. So I hope you enjoyed that one and I'll be seeing you in next video.